So please tell me about yourself.
Yes, myself Karthik. I completed my bachelor degree in the year 2019 in petroleum engineering in Ahmad University, Chennai. And after 2 months, I joined as a software developer in East Consultancy Services in Bangalore. And I worked there for 2 years and predominantly worked in Java Struts framework, and for backend database management I have experience in MySQL there, and after 2 years I switched to Infosys, and I worked there for 8 months in Finacle project, which is one of fintech product of Infosys, and after I joined to my current employer, which is Explore Solutions. So we are I've been working for 2 years and 10 months now, and here I've been working for the client Pfizer, which is one of biggest client in America. And here I worked in two products. One is Zell, and another one is Bill Pay. And in Zell, I predominantly worked in cyber vulnerability fixes in Java Struts and in Java Spring Boot. So for backend, I have experience in MySQL, Oracle SQL, and MS SQL, and we are following agile methodology. And for project management, we are using Jira. And for cyber vulnerabilities, we've been using Fortify SCA, which is a source code analysis application. And for the past 8 months, I've been working in .NET, which is a C# programming language under one of the Bill product, which is a CFC application. And for past 1 year, I've been working in Azure Cloud as well as part of development. So in Azure Cloud, I have experience in Cosmos DB, which is one of NoSQL DB under Azure, and serverless architecture. We are using Azure Functions and Azure Linux App Service for REST API, and
Okay.
and yeah.
So you know JUnit, Makuto framework implementation.
Sorry.
JUnit, Makuto.
Yeah, I have worked in that, but I have very less experience in that, but I can work on it. Unit testing, I have written very less. So in .NET only, I have started writing unit test cases with the help of NUnit framework.
Okay.
So in JUnit, I've been learning, but I have very less experience in that.
Okay. So you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Suppose you have got some kind of issues, CR, bugs, any kind of things you come got. Uh, so you know about that, so you can resolve that.
For front end, I have very basic understanding of HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, and JSP. So in that, I have very less experience, but I can learn and I can work on it. Only I predominantly worked in Java backend so
Okay.
far in BSFI domains.
So in Java side, you know what is difference between encapsulation and abstraction.
Yeah, encapsulation is nothing but it's combining data and object as a single unit. So very good example of encapsulation we can say like class. There the data and code are combined together so that it will be easy for unit testing and other also for easy code readability, and abstraction is nothing but showing only the functionality and not the implementation. So The best way to achieve abstraction by using abstract class, or else we can implement interfaces. So by the way we can achieve abstraction, and
Okay.
yeah, it is for loosely coupled. Yeah.
What is immutable class?
Immutable class in the sense it cannot be changed. So whenever if we try to create an instance of that class, it will point to different variable, but it cannot be changed. It is for mainly for security purposes, and we can say like string is it's an immutable class, and so it is because we are using password and those kind of things, we are storing it as a string. So it is better
Okay.
to keep
Okay.
it
So
in.
suppose you want to make it as a on immutable class. So how do you make it?
Sorry, can you come in? I didn't get your question.
Suppose I need a custom immutable class. So how to
Okay.
make it a custom immutable class?
We can make it as final, so that it can be immutable. So we can have the keyword final in class level, so that it cannot be changed. So only it can create one instance, and it can be accessed throughout the global. So it will not affect if we try to make any change. So that way we can make it immutable.
What is enums?
Enum's enumeration is a interface which is a legacy one, which can be the enum declared class can be only readable. It cannot be only read operation can be done with enum.
So
So
enum is a immutable class.
yeah, it is immutable.
Okay. So, but you have given the answer about immutable, only you mark a class as a final, so that would be immutable. So, this is not a exact definition about that.
Okay.
Inside the immutable, suppose something you want to edit and modify it, so it will happen inside the final class. Final, if you mark, so in that case, is the class should not be inherit. That should
Okay.
only do that. Inside whatever you are writing, everything can edit, modify it, and but immutable means only provide the readable option. That is the immutable class. You already told about that. So for the readable means no need to write any logic inside the immutable class for updation, insertion. So that only provide the option for read operations. That would be
Okay.
immutable class. Okay.
Okay, we can make it as enum, so that it can be immutable.
Suppose you have employee class, you mark as a constructor employee as a parameter as 1, 2, and thereafter you write a get int id. So only
Okay,
you can get id, not you do. If you put the setter operation, so it means you can change anything else. You can
correct,
get the
correct.
change value. So main method is a immutable. Main method can be overloaded.
It can be overloaded, but it is of no use. So we can overload main method with different params we can add, but by default, Java compiler will search for this main method with the string org parameter.
So why you telling about because of overloading means I am not touching the main method, exact main method. I am just writing a similar copy with different parameter.
Okay.
So where is the impact? Where is the problem?
So the main method can be overloaded, because we can have method called main. but in the same class, but it should have different parameters. It will not affect the main method, but there is no use of having overloaded main method can be overloaded since we can do, but it is no of no use. That's what I'm trying to say here.
Okay. So what is class level variable and instance variable?
Class level variable is nothing but if a variable declared with static keyword, it is known as a class variable. So it is more of dependent to class other than our project, so that within the class we can access static variable, and it cannot be declared inside method. It will be declared inside of class, and uh, so once if we declared as static, it will create only one instance, and we can access throughout the execution of the program. And instance variable is nothing but instance of a variable, like we can declare inside a method. So every time when the program executes or call that variable, it will instantiate, and so that we are calling it as instance variable.
Can we call instance static variable inside the instance method?
Uh, we can call a static method inside
Instance method.
instance. Sorry.
Instance method. Suppose you have just give the example. You have a public static int age equal to 10. Okay.
Okay.
Inside public void show method. Inside I want to print system out dot println a. So it would be work or not?
Inside static class, so we can have static methods, but we cannot have static methods. So it will not work.
No, you not got my point. In instance method, public void show, inside we can call the static variable.
Inside instance method, you are saying.
Yes, yes.
Inside instance method, we can call static variable, but inside static method, we cannot call any instance variable.
Okay. So what is transient variable and volatile variable?
Transient variable. I didn't remember, but I
So you
gone through
don't
it.
have worked on a multi-threading program?
Yeah, I have worked on multi-threading programs in my.
So you have runnable interface, you have a thread. So which one is better for implementing? Either extend threads or implementing runnable interface.
Implementing runnable interface is the better option because we cannot extend more than one class, but we can implement multiple interfaces. So if we implement runnable, we can also implement other interfaces also. So that will be more
So
easier to work.
why better?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Extending, we cannot extend more than one class into a class, but we can implement multiple interfaces so that.
No, here not have a multiple interface, have a only runnable interface. So where is a multiple interface?
Okay, okay. So thread will have run method, and runnable Also, we'll have override of run method, and so better to have runnable interface instead of
But exactly in behind what happening, you I think you're not much aware about that. Why? Because of thread is a extending a thread class is a abstract class. It is also extending to runnable interface. So why we are going to class to runnable interface? Just implement to runnable interface. That's why it is a better. Because of
okay,
thread class is also implementing to runnable interface. Because of run method have only in runnable interface,
runnable interface. Yeah,
right?
correct.
So what is concurrent hash map?
Concurrent hash map is one of the types of hash map. It implements map interface. So main use of concurrent hash map is it is synchronized, so it is thread safe, and so main usage of concurrent hash map so that it can be used in threads. It will keep it as a part, have a duplicate and do the threading process, and we'll have a virtual copy of it in some other memory so that we can have parallel work can be done, and due to this synchronized and thread safe, it is not memory efficient, and so these are all the features of concurrent hash map.
So string security concept.
Sorry, deep in security concept.
String security, JWT token implementation.
Yeah. We have implemented in our recent projects. So in REST APIs, we used to have JWT token as a author.
JPA Hibernate concept.
Yeah, JPA. Yeah, I have worked in JPA as well.
So JPA is why most important in Java technology. Why needed JPA?
Uh, so we can have all the like default to find all, find by ID. So those kind of methods is already uh, implemented in that JPA repository, so that we can do all the basic CRUD operations without writing the query. So that is one of the uh, main thing. It is easy to use. Yeah.
Okay. So load and get method. What is difference between load and get in Hibernate?
Mm, Hibernate.
No idea.
No, I never opened Hibernate.
So in Spring Core, because of this is have a part of requirement.
Okay. Spring Core. Yeah, I have worked in Spring Boot. So
So
yeah.
Spring Core in the sense of dependency injection, IOC. What is this?
Yeah. A dependency injection is nothing but so whenever there is a it is mainly to make the application loosely coupled between components, so that so whenever there is a requirement of that particular component, we can inject using interfaces. So by that way, it is loosely coupled, and code will be less complex, so that we are using dependency injection, and IOC is for it is for Spring containerization. So all the components will be declared inside the Spring container. So the Spring application is responsible for auto wiring the component whenever it is required. So this way also we can implement dependency injection and achieve closely coupled applications.
So you know servlet dispatcher.
Yeah, I worked in it. Servlet dispatcher is like in REST API we used to have like it will we used to have methods like HTTP get and HTTP request body and HTTP response body. So to uh, actually I forgot. It was like 2 3 years before I worked on it. So I didn't gone through that serverless dispatching, but I can learn. I can quickly go through.
Okay. Okay. So how to create the Spring Boot application? Suppose if you have uh, scratch application.
We have to create a. Everyone asking about creating a Spring Boot application or deploying.
Create a application.
Okay, okay. To create from scratch, we can use like Spring.io. There is one website where we can provide our name, artifact name, and everything, and we can also add all the dependencies required for that particular project, so that it will create a skeleton of the project, and we can download it as a zip and. Through Eclipse or Spring IDE, we can start work on it. So it will provide a default pom.xml and basic structure of the uh, basic structure of the code, source code, so that we can immediately start write the logic. Also, the starting point of the application is the main method, which is annotated with the Spring Boot application. So from there, it will start implementing the code.
And what is the difference between REST API and SOAP API? You know SOAP something. Just I'm
Yeah,
asking differences.
yeah. Predominantly worked in banking domain, so most of the old applications are still using SOAP protocol, since it is safer. Security wise, it is safer. So I have pretty good knowledge on SOAP and REST.
Okay.
So yeah, REST is a representational state transfer. It's an architectural style. So with HTTP and HTTPS security features, we can use SOAP, which will, if we provide a request, it will provide a response through client server connectivity. So in Spring Boot, we usually declare controller with REST controller, so that it will provide response as XML or JSON instead of rendering a view as a in UI. And SOAP is a protocol which uses HTTP, HTTPS, and SMTP. So all those kind of protocols it is being used, and it is little bulky but very secure compared to REST. Um, so mostly recent days, mostly they are using REST
Okay.
API instead of SOAP. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you know a scope annotation. When will you use a scope annotation in a Spring Boot?
Sorry, what annotation? I didn't get.
Scope, scope annotation, you know?
Scope annotation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have replaced that, but I didn't get it now. Scope annotation. Uh, I'm sorry.
Okay, okay, no problem. So in database side, what kind of things you know?
So in the recent times, I've been working in NoSQL in Cosmos DB. I'm working for past 8 months. So in cloud, I have experience in Azure Cosmos DB, and before that, I have worked in MySQL, Oracle SQL, and other databases.
Okay. Okay, so I have done. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
you want